Good morning. This is part 3 of headers and footers working with Brizy. In part 3, we're still focusing on the WordPress plugin, and today we turn our attention to brother Brizy Pro, and we'll look at how you can work with headers and footers in Brizy Pro. The good news is, yes, and there's bad news. So the good news is that while there comes a great feature within Brizy Pro, which is actually a header, a dedicated header block. And I really like how that has been implemented, and looking into the future, what can be done. On top of that, I think there's a lot of room for excellence in there. And I just realized the word excellence is here right in front of me on the screen. So it wasn't my brain who came up with that all by itself. Okay, so that's the good news. The downside is, and I'll call it the downside, is that we're going to run into similar limitations, same as we did with Brizy Free, in that there's going to be a little hitch with the blog, but I'm going to show you a workaround for that. But for other archive pages or outside pages, like you get the cart and the shopping pages, etc. for WooCommerce, you're going to have the same problem that you won't be able to apply the Brizy header on those pages. So if you are running a WooCommerce site, it's a good idea to go with a theme that's going to be very good at WooCommerce, that has a good track record that proves that it does well with WooCommerce, and that you use the headers and footers for that theme. Let's look at what we've got currently in Brizy Pro. So I've got a site here. What is this? Consult accounting. And let's go look what we've got in the back. First, the theme that I'm using is Suki, and the reason I'm keep switching between Suki and Astra is because they come with starter themes. That makes it much easier for me to quickly get a few pages in here and work with that. So I used the site's import with Suki, and I think this was with the Suki Pro. Pages, what have we got here? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And again, you will see that these guys are all made with Brizy, except the blog page is not made with Brizy. But like I said, we'll look at a workaround for that. Let's dive into our homepage. Go over here, edit with Brizy. And then we start looking at this magnificent header block. The first thing I want to bring your attention to, that when you go into Brizy Pro, is that you'll see there are more elements here. And now you've got a different menu element here. This video is not about the menu, but if you were going to design a custom block like we did in the previous one, let's go to the bottom. We bring in a new block here, and let's do the same like we did in part 2. We bring in that menu element. You're going to see that you're going to have far more flexibility over this menu element. You're going to have the ability to put an icon actually in front of each of these links. Like if I want to put one there in front of services, and then here I have also more control. No, that's the same. Where I have more control is here. So for the click like that, let's go back. And now when I hover over it, you will see that I have that color. I still don't have much more opportunities in terms of animation, like the words will grow or the links will grow or maybe bounce or pulse or have a line under it. Those I still don't have, and I also don't have an active color here yet. So there are still lots of things that can be done for this menu to improve it. But at a minimum, it gives you more than the WordPress menu element that you got in Brizy Free. But I'm going to delete this, and I'm going to show you the way that it is intended for you to bring in headers and footers within Brizy Pro. Before I do that, first a sip of my coffee. Let's go here, click on New Block, and if you are in Brizy Pro, you will see header over here and footers over here. The header blocks are special blocks. They are not just blocks with a menu element in them. They are actually a very specific dedicated block. Let's choose a very basic one. So let's go with this first one up here. And then here you see our block comes in. Let's just reorder that, click and drag it. Which one is it? This up to the top, so we can put it at the top so we can see what we are working with. Now over here is the menu element that I just showed you. To select your menu, click on it over here, and then go here where you see a hamburger menu, and then menu, select the menu. We select our main menu, and in comes everything. And then over here, you have those options that I mentioned to you. Look here, you can do that. And you have like make it a hamburger, yes, no. All right. And this is the settings for these. And then like I said, if you click on each of them, you're going to have those styling features as well. And there you have your header. The thing though is that this header has a few tricks up its sleeve. If you go to the block and you go to the settings all the way to the left, this is your menu settings for the menu block. Let's call it a menu block. The first one here is you can choose to keep it static, fixed, or sticky. Let's put it on static first because that is probably the most normal standard header that you're going to get. It's now on standard, so when I scroll, that's it. It's going to stay the way it is there at the top. Look at the next one, fixed, and that will remain at the top as I scroll through. And then the third one is sticky. And sticky essentially is actually two headers, not one. You will see what I mean. This is our header then at the top of the page. And as I scroll, you'll see a little bit of things change there. It brings in this, look at that animation that happens the moment I scroll, right? And again, it tells you you have to select a new menu. Why on earth do you have to select that again? And here's the reason, Sally, because maybe you want to bring in another header. Wow, right? But in this case, we're going to select the same main menu because I haven't created a second menu. But just keep that in mind that you can bring in a second menu over there. What I want to do is let's have a look if we go ahead and we delete all of this because we're focusing on the header. Over here, what we've got here is, I would say, a column, right? This is a column, so let's delete it. And now we've got this header block and it's completely empty. Let me bring in a column and I'm just looking, delete that column. And then I'm going to bring in another column here. And can I put it under it? Yes. Okay. Just to show you a little bit of what we can do with it. I go to my block settings, and I'm going to make this full. I'm stretching my limits here now. And let's go again up here to more settings, and I'm going to remove all the padding all the way through. Then let's go for our column at the top over here, background, and I'm going to give it a blue background. Now I'm going to bring in columns again there, columns within columns, Johnny. And then over here, we're going to bring in an image. Click on the image. And you know you get a little bit nervous when you look at these things like, right? And the first thing we do is we put it at 100% so that we can get the full resolution of, or at least the dimensions. And then I'm going to reduce it like so. And then over here, let's bring in the text element. And I'm going to, let's change the color first. White. Give it something like, okay, Poppins is good. And change the text. And I'm going to say, call us at +1 2 3 6 2 3 6 4 5 5 6, something like that. And we put it all the way to the right. Go to this column, pink one, right? Am I on the column? Yes, and put it. Should be this one. There we go. Okay, I'm looking forward to those new shortcuts that's coming our way. Let's do the same. Put this one also on the left. Right, now I need to get to the blue, and here we go. This is the blue column, which is my first column, more settings, and I'll go for the padding on the left and the right. I'm going to put it on percentage of 15% on both sides. Do you see what I did there? Right, let me just make this one a little bit bigger as such. And I'm going to reduce. And let's make this better. What is this? Bigger is better. Good. Do you see what I've done there, right? So far, are you impressed? I hope so. Let's look at the next one. Let's do the icons that we didn't do in part 2. And there is my icon. Click on the icon. Let's call this one Facebook. And then we style it accordingly, which I'll put this one on black. But I'm going to reduce the size over here to 24. Okay, again, I'm waiting for those life improvements to come. and then duplicate them. Go to the second one, and this is Twitter, right? And I always spell it incorrectly. Got it right this time. And this one is Mr. Instagram. What am I doing? Yeah, that's, is this Instagram? I was actually looking for LinkedIn. And then let's do LinkedIn over here. We're going to put them to the right. What you'll do with these icons when you click on them, make sure that you click on the link and that you link them to the accounts there. And then again, we're going to go, okay, I'm thinking, and then I'm thinking, no. Let me delete this one here. You'll see again, I want to do the same that I did at the top. So one column, and then bring in columns again. There, so we have the pink ones. And then what I'll do is, now I cannot drag these guys in. Let me undo that, Control Z. Sorry for that. These things do happen. And delete that, and then we're going to just do it again here. And then I have to just quickly make changes. But you know the outcome of this story, right? Where's my Facebook now? Oh, I have to type in book, right? Let's do the same again here. And like I said, what you have to do is that you have to remember to bring in those links so that it can go to the various accounts. And Instagram. Okay, now I go to my column for the pink one. And again, the reason I did that is because I want to use a container. I could have used a row, thinking about it. I could have used a row, but because I can go columns within columns, it has exactly the same impact. This is my pink column. So I, again, center align it over here. Let's do it from the beginning. Go to our blue column, and we're going to apply the same padding on the left and the right. Left 15%, right 15%. So now it's nicely aligned like so. And over here, we bring in our menu over here. Good. And let's put our menu, okay, here. Go here first. Going to align it to the left. Now we click on it and we change our typography first. Is it on Open Sans? Let's go to Poppins, Open Sans, Poppins. I don't like bold, so let's look at normal. Normal is much better. And then let's make it around 17. The rest is good. Let's go here to our icons. This only works on the icon. Okay, so let's settings. Nope. So we go to the menu settings over here. Let's see here. Okay, this is where our spacing is. I'm going to increase the spacing. Good. And then we also go to this column settings and vertically center align everything. Good. I think we can stretch this a little bit more. So I'm going to grab the column handlebar in the middle, drag it over, click again here on the settings. I have to remember where that is. And let's increase that spacing. And we can do a little bit of styling so that when people hover over it, we can get that nice blue color. So I'm going to click on it, go to color, and then hover here on the tag. Select that. Okay, so when they hover, it will give us that. Let's update. I think, yeah, I want to add a little space at the top and the bottom, but I think this is good. Let's scroll next to see what happens with our sticky header. So your question is, do you want that sticky header, yes or no? Let's say yes. So what I'll do is I'm going to change the color again of our sticky header. So once you start scrolling, the settings that appear here will apply to your sticky header. So if I change the color now, let me see if I'm right. Blue. And I'm going to reduce the opacity so it's a little bit like that. Go to the top, you see. So the settings here will be applied to this header, and once you scroll, your settings will be applied to your sticky header. So what we need to do then is go here and click on our header, change the color to white so we can see it, and we'll also have to make other changes to our typography because I don't want it on medium, I want it on normal. That's better. And let's change our logo. Delete. And it's a white logo, I know, so it's not the best of best logos, but I think not bad. Okay, there we go. So there you go. You've got a header there. Now, what we need to do, like we did in part 2, is to apply it to these other pages. We will need to save it. Let's have a look at what I'm talking about. I'm going to save my work, Control S on my keyboard, Command S on a Mac, and then let's preview it on the front end just to make sure everything works the way it should be working. Right, so there is our sticky header at the top. And the reason it looks like that is because of the WordPress toolbar up here that is overlapping that. If I normally view without it, you will see it perfectly. So we go to About Us, and you should be aware of what's going to happen now. The header will not appear on our About Us page. We need to go and set it. But before we do that, let's go to the footer. So great, this header block up here, it gives you a lot of options. You're not confined to only building out a header, or a menu rather. You can build out everything up here that you want to be part of that. So remember that, massive great feature. I like the idea behind this header block. It's a very specialized block. Excellent, I love it. A lot of room for additional things that come in the future. And I think this can become one massive, powerful feature. Just needs a little bit more of those extra things. Let's go create the footer at the bottom. And here again, you have pre-made footers. But these are not special blocks. They are normal blocks with just content curated for footers. So if I grab this one over here, I've got it, but there's nothing special to this footer block, except that you can make it global. What we'll do here is, I only have a white logo, so I'm going to leave it as is. Next then, to make sure that we can use it on the other pages, we have to go and make it global. We go to our header, click here, all the way to the left, and click on Make It Global. And then when you hover over it, you will see that little thingy appear, which is a global icon telling you that this block is global. And we do the same for the footer, all the way to the left, and we say Make It Global. Let's save our work, update, go to the front end. Everything is good in the land of Brizy. Let's go to the next one, which is About Us, and we apply the same header and footer to that page. Edit with Brizy. Click here. Go to Global Blocks. Here is our header that we had created. Go over to Reorder Blocks, grab it to the top. And then we go to the bottom, Global Blocks, and we grab our footer that we had created. Update. Again, preview. Let's do it for services as well to cement that routine in. First, open your page builder, and then we add that new block, or we bring in the global block over here. Reorder blocks, click and drag it to the top, go to the bottom, global blocks, and footer. And then we go to the front end, and now, when you see the next page that we will be looking at, you should hear the bell go off in your head. Ding, 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 ding. Something's up. Block. Right. So we've successfully done it. One thing I want to mention at this juncture is that this thing where I'm constantly manually adding the headers at the top and the bottom is something that will be addressed in Brizy with a feature that will be called, I think, conditional blocks. And conditional blocks will allow you to assign it and say, I want this applied to all pages. I'm saying that now because my question is, will that also apply to pages created for your blog within the WordPress pages and editor, and other pages created in other applications such as WooCommerce? I hope that is the case because that will address the problem that we run into next. When I click on blog, my blog has not been created within Brizy. It had been created within the WordPress editor. And for a moment you will think, hey, look at that, but it's the same menu. No, it's not. It's just me trying to copy that menu. This menu here is the header menu of the theme, and you will see the footer here at the bottom is the footer of the theme. This is not those that we had created within Brizy. And the reason is because this page cannot be created within Brizy, I cannot assign the Brizy header and footer. Same problem we had. So if you come here, you have to think again, if I'm going to use a blog site, do I rather go with my theme header and footer? Or there is a way. Now, the way that you can do it is instead of creating your blog archive page, which is this page, in your theme, you can create your blog archive page in Brizy. I'm going to show you how to do that. So let's close these guys here, and then let's go into our back, and I'm going to create a new page, and let's say add new. And this page, instead of calling it blog, I'll call it news. Where is that? News. Publish it. And then I'm going to say edit with Brizy. Start building my page. I go to global blocks and I grab my header first. This is going to be my blog page. Now I'm going to grab an empty blank block. I'll delete one of these. And then I'll bring in the Pro element that you can only find in Brizy Pro for posts down here. There are many changes coming for dynamic content. So I believe this video, I'll probably have to update it the moment I publish it because there are new things coming out. At this moment, you grab this element for posts over here and you drop it over there. What you do, and let's just update it. And I'm going to show you in the front end what already has happened. Header and footer, but nothing here. Let's go back. Go to the block settings for this element. Over here, you see posts. And when you go to filter and you click on the drop down, you will see two uncategorized. Let's choose the second one, update. Go to the front end and refresh. And there you go. So now what I've done is I've used that element to create kind of an archive page. And let me show you a little bit how you can play around with it. This is not a tutorial for how to create an archive page, but I'm just quickly showing you how you can get around making sure that this can use that. So I'll go up here. Let's use a column. So I'm going to put it on column 1, grab my image and I drag it down like that. Let me just go back here. And then we're going to say rows. I'm going to put 2 rows in there. Where's my settings? Come back, settings. 3. I want 3. Okay. And the spacing is fine. Filter, we left it there. And navigation, that's fine. Let's just go here. Let me see what's over here. Okay. So we have that. Filters. Pagination is not here yet. I know pagination. Let me make sure. Filter. Navigation. There, pagination. I'm going to switch that on in case we have that. So here we have our post title, post excerpt. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the post excerpt. I don't want to use it. And then over here, let's say read full article. Read full article. And what you have to notice with this is that I only make the changes to this first post. As I make the changes, they are automatically copied here for the second and the third, which ones are being displayed. Update. Go to the front end and refresh. And there we have it. Now, the only other thing you have to keep in mind, if I go into the single post and I click here on read full article, I am back to the header of the theme and not the header of Brizy. And to achieve this, you're going to create a single post template within Brizy. Right. So all of these, you will have to go and apply a Brizy header for it. But as I've shown you, it can be done. Let's just go and finish this page by putting our footer here at the bottom, global blocks and footer and update. And let's preview it now. So we have a home page, we have about page, we have our services, and then this blog page has been completely created within Brizy. Naturally, you're going to make a little bit of styling here, make it look a little bit more fancy, or change it to your heart's content, whatever you want to do here. The only one you still need to add that header and footer will be your contact page. Let's do that as well, just to round off our website very nicely. So we go into edit page with Brizy. And where are we? Okay, for a moment I'm getting lost. We want to bring in, and I remember, let me just reorder this to the top, something very important I haven't done, which we have to go and do, but I'll first show you my mistake, and then I'll show you how to fix it. So here is our last contact us page. Let's look at the front end, and I'm going to close these two. And then we are here in our contact us page. Okay, so if I click on blog here, and this is the mistake I've made, if I click on blog, where will this take me? Let's see. You see, it takes me to the archive page created within the theme, and not the one that I've just created within Brizy. Why? Because of my menu. Let's go to Brizy, backend, and we go to appearance, menus. Here you see we've got blog, and this is our blog page that we have assigned. What we need to do is remove this one. Then we go to our pages, find the page that we created, news, add that, and drag it in here. If you want to change the name, you can go in here and call it blog, but I'm going to leave it at news so that you have some idea of the changes that we have made. And then if we go to our front end now, we will see that the menu has updated to news, and with that, we have our own page that we have created within Brizy. There you see news, click on that, and it takes us to that page that we had created. So all of this can be done within Brizy, but if you have WooCommerce, it's not going to work. So there are those things that still need to happen. Just like part 2, let's go to our home page, and I want to show you where I really like using this header as well. Edit page with Brizy, let's go in here. If you have, again, a section area, for example, you want to put something in here, let's go bring it in here. You can bring a header in over there. That's how amazing this can be done. So instead of just thinking that you need to have a header always at the top, you can do this. You can bring in your header over here, and this can help you connect to sections down below. If you are interested in how this can be done, go check part 2. We show you how to do this. Before we leave, let's just quickly have a look at the menu here, and we look at our responsive view. So over here, let's go to tablet, and you will see this. All of this is connected, of course, to your menu element, not your header element. But this is over here, it sets it to a hamburger. If you still want the menu, you click here on the settings, and then where it says make it a hamburger, you say no, and it will give you that again. Same thing over here. If you go to mobile, you can also keep your menu in there. You don't have to go for Mr. Hamburger. Hamburger, mama. Let me just click here. Oh, am I going to get there? Am I going to get there? I got there. And we can also deactivate it there. So for now, you can go. Let's change a few things because bold is not working there. That's better. Let's make it 14. Then we have to try and get this one again, put it in the middle. And we can do the same for these guys. Put them in the middle. Well, here. Maybe even remove these guys at the top. Nah, I think it is okay. What I'll just want to do here is go to settings and remove the padding all the way around. Like so. Great. See how quickly we had done that. The sky's the limit, Peter. The sky's the limit. Shortcut, Control, Command Plus will cycle you through the various responsive views. Simply press Control Plus to go up a level and Control Minus to go down a level. Very, very nice feature. And there we go, yo. This is how you can work with the header blocks. Excellent feature, and I'm looking forward to all those improvements that can come, especially when we are going to work with the block conditions. And the moment those roll out in the future, I will update this video and let you know to come have a look-see at what can be done. Let's update our work, and we're out of here.